reporting after the close. I think this is the big name for the week, just based on how much memory is needed for these AI cards that are in these servers. Let's bring in Caroline Wood, senior markets correspondent here. Caroline, when you look at this one, expectations are pretty big. Implied volatility levels gaining. The stock's just off all-time highs going into this report. But I was just reading through the amount of memory needed for these AI cards, individual cards, and then the thousands of them within just one server is pretty massive. I'm hearing anywhere from 4 to 6 times more memory needed for this type of server as opposed to other servers. So it looks pretty good for Micron going into earnings, right?
Hey there, Tom. Yes, I would say so. It's certainly a beneficiary of demand for AI continuing to tick higher, due in large part because it does require so much memory, both on the server side, but also on the AI PC and AI capable smartphone side, that we're starting to see more of those come to market as well. So that's one reason that Micron could stand to benefit. Also, just the uptick that we've been seeing, the improving demand for PCs and smartphones, and the reduction in inventories that we've been seeing on the industrial and automotive side as well. So quite a few things working for Micron, but as you said, this is a stock that's already seen a really impressive run higher. It's up 13% this month, 13.6% this month, 66% so far this year, and then you broaden it out to 1 year, it's up 113% right now. So the bar is high. In terms of the numbers that we're actually looking for, adjusted EPS of 50 cents on revenue of $6.7 billion. So analysts largely expecting a beat here, but also expecting a raise in terms of outlook. Given how far shares have run, I think that in order to see this stock pop higher, we're probably going to need a beat and raise. And analysts are bullish on that because of demand and also pricing strength that Micron has. So in terms of what Wall Street's looking for the current quarter, consensus calls for $7.59 billion in revenue. That would be up 89% year over year. Adjusted profit of $1.02. And then for the fiscal year, which ends in August, the consensus is for revenue of $37.3 billion, up 50%, with a profit of $9.01 per share. So keep that in mind when those numbers come out after the bell today. For fiscal year 2025 revenue, that's expected to be up 16% to $43.1 billion, with a profit of $12.04 per share. So outlook going to be very key for this name. Shares are actually under pressure this morning heading into this report, but they've turned positive and now are up about 0.7% right now, already up about 2% this week. So the enthusiasm continues. We just have to see if Micron will deliver.
Caroline, this stock is a leader in memory, and memory is critical to AI. That being said, this is also a company that's very cyclical, and we are currently in the midst of a massive upcycle in terms of everything having to do with memory. High bandwidth memory is like the new horizon for these companies. But the question is, has this company already priced in most of the gains that they're talking about? And number two, this stock is down today because, frankly, NVIDIA's down. And does every stock in this universe just follow NVIDIA?
Well, actually, it turned higher, Kev. I'm just taking a look in terms of NVIDIA because NVIDIA has been bouncing back and forth. NVIDIA is still lower, down by about 1.5%, but Micron has turned positive, so it's going rogue here, up about 0.8%. In terms of what's priced in, I think the fact that analysts are hiking price targets heading into this report shows that they do see more upside. And you mentioned that high bandwidth memory. There was an analyst over at Wolfe Research that hiked their price target to $200 per share because they think eventually earnings will get to $20 per share, due in large part for HBM demand ticking higher and then prices for DRAM going along with it. So that's the reason for their bullishness. So Micron currently trading at $142 a share, $200 a share implies quite a bit of upside. We've also seen Wells Fargo hike their price target to $190 recently. Citi's up to $175, calling Micron a top pick, and then Baird was up to $172. Those were some of the most recent price target hikes that I've seen. In terms of how much more there is to run overall, the median price target is $158, so that implies about, 12% upside from here, maybe a little less. So still room to run, but not necessarily as impressive of gains as we've seen year to date. That being said, as we've seen with a lot of these analysts, sometimes they have to play catch up. If we do in fact see a beat and raise, let's see. But given how far it's run, if they disappoint at all or don't blow the numbers out of the water, we could see these green arrows turn to red.
For sure. All right. Thanks to Caroline Woods, senior markets correspondent here breaking down Micron.